It's got my secrets, nothing more. I check the drawers, I check the spikes. Left me hanging in my Nikes. Last night we tore up the town. Now my wallet's not around. Call the cops or play it smooth. Pay my debts and start anew. Hey, hey, where'd it go? My cash, my cars, my flow. Don't you know what's gone? Now I'm broke from dusk till dawn. Dancing lights and screaming bass. Drinks were flowing in that place. Left a tip but lost my grip. Now my wallet's gonna slip. Check your jackets, check your shoes. Hope it's not lost to the booze. Count your blessings, count your charms. It's not awful, but it harms. Hey, hey, where'd it go? My cash, my cards, my flow. Don't you know what's gone? Now I'm broke from dusk till dawn. Dancing lights and screaming bass. Drinks were flowing in that place. Left a tip but lost my grip. Now my wallet's gonna slip.
Oh, hey, it's me. Um, so today, what we'll be going over is how, in a world that we have a lot going on today regarding over 200,000 people have been let go from the government. And right now, a lot of people just don't know what to do. And so, with this particular episode, we're going to be going over how can you find another job? What are the strategies that are out there that can get you and land you a job? And also ultimately find different ways to actually make extra income. So hopefully I can get through all of it within the hour, but I'm going to try my best. So for right now, I do want to kick off with this article that I was looking at from The Hill. So let's take a listen.
We've surpassed 1 month of President Donald Trump's second term, and it's been a whirlwind of policy changes, mass firings, and disruptions in Washington. The president has signed an unprecedented 73 executive orders since assuming office, an amount that has the potential to break the record for most orders signed in the first 100 days. But how is all this faring with the public? To break it all down, we are joined by Senior Director of Emerson College Polling, Matt Taglia. Matt, Trump has raised eyebrows for his plans to gut the government. He's frozen funding for USAID with an eye on eliminating it. He also wants to dismantle the Department of Education. According to your poll, both of those ideas are unpopular. Eliminating USAID is opposed by about 44% of Americans, and eliminating the Department of Education is even more unpopular, 58% opposed. Both of these proposals have been polarizing, with protests popping up across the country. But according to your poll, not everyone has made up their mind. There have been a number of people who say they're unsure. What do we know about these undecideds?
That's right, Drew. And as you said, neither of these policies are terribly popular. A majority oppose eliminating the Department of Education. When we look at those folks who aren't sure, about 13% say they aren't sure about eliminating the Department of Education. About 20% aren't sure about USAID. If we take a look at this through a partisan lens, Democrats are opposed to both eliminations, 82% and 68% respectively. So I think it's unlikely that they're just giving Trump a chance here, these folks who aren't sure. I think that they might just not be fully aware of what the departments do, or at least not have enough familiarity to make up their minds one way or another. But there may be a little bit for Trump to gain there in terms of support for eliminating these departments. When we look at Republicans, there is a bit of defection here. So 34% oppose eliminating the Department of Education, 21% oppose USAID, and then 14 and 17% aren't sure. I think it's fair to say that Republicans are mostly on board with the Trump administration's plan to cut these departments, whether that means eliminating or cutting the funding for these departments and placing them into another. But I think we also see that this opposition is reflected in Elon Musk's approval numbers. We see he has a -4 overall disapproved there. With him charged in some of the government efficiency, eliminating some of these jobs and some of these departments. I think we see that in the top line numbers there.
Yeah, and that is what's going on right now. And I actually think that it's something to really be mindful of what's going on. I swear I hate the way how StreamYard is like messing up my stuff here. So with that being said, we have pretty much some type of I won't even say a pandemic, but it's almost like a lot of people are going unemployed, which means that we have a trickle effect. So imagine that you've been working for the government for 10 years. You apply for a brand new job because you want to be a supervisor. You become that supervisor. And because you apply for that new job, you're under probation now. And because you're under probation, they're just letting you go. Now, a lot of people are like, well, now that I'm gone, what am I going to do? Because I'm no longer the breadwinner. And the husband or the household just isn't cutting it. So what is it, something that we can go through? And I have a quote here. I'd like to read memes. So the meme here for today, if y'all can read it, it says, stop letting your, hold up, let me just look at it. Stop letting your potential go to waste because you don't feel confident or ready enough. People with half your talent are making serious waves while you're still waiting to feel ready. So this whole show is about making you take action, not making you take action, but letting you know that it's okay to take action. And the reason why you want to take action now instead of later is because this is something that you have to keep moving. You have to have that gazelle intensity. And what I mean by that is that when a lion is chasing after the gazelle has to move. They have to bob and weave. They have to already know the terrain majority of the time. And because they know the terrain, it's a lot easier for them to navigate and shift and pivot. And if you ever notice, like, how is it that they are able to survive with lions in their midst? They are ready to take off. They trust their legs, they trust their speed, and they trust that they can pivot when need be. Now, the question is, are you going to have that same mentality when it comes to your finances and your career? So that brings me up to here. Come on. So what I'm doing now is actually I'm trying to do something different. Whereas I am utilizing my phone here because I have a book that I found at the thrift store. I actually like this book. So what we're going to be talking about is the cycle, the stages of career planning. So let me see if I can make that the main thing. Let's see. So, all right. I know it looks small, but it's about the content. So you got the strategy of planning for your career. Number one, if I can get close enough. There we go. It's talking about you want to assess and research, personal goals, abilities, and career fields. What are you currently into right now? Is it making you feel sexy? Is this something that you really want to do? They're talking about, how change to different careers. So this is what's going on. A lot of people are getting fired right now. They need to figure out how to they change different careers. So then you go to evaluate the employment market, and identifying specific employment opportunities. This is where your network is coming in handy. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Lisa. Um, Let me know if you can still hear me, even though I got this taken over. It's fine. And with that being said, now that you already evaluated the market and look at the opportunities, we're gonna start looking into like change employment with the same career field. So you got to develop your resume, cover letter, and apply to available positions. Majority of the time, you don't really need a CV, but you got to double check on the career standards because reading is very fundamental. If you don't have all the documents, they will deny your application. Now you're going to move into the interview for available positions. So you want to assess your interview uh, performance. Hey, what's going on, Ruthie? Thank you for showing it. Hopefully, you're feeling better today than yesterday. I'm sick, but I'm gonna push through. So if my voice sound different, that's why. So you also want to evaluate financial and other factors of positions you're offered. So when you're doing all these applications, you're going to figure that out. And then lastly, you want to plan and implement a program for career development. So let me bring myself back out. So the reason why we want to do this, like I said, I love these books. The cool thing about it is that um, we have different things here. Let's see. What if I can? Sweet. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. I'm trying out new things, you guys, because I think it's pretty cool that we can do this. Let's try that side by side. There we go. Okay. What I really want to talk about is so we talk about the employment search strategies, right? And one of them is talking about the part-time employment. Like people do get summer jobs, summertime is coming around, and you can actually do that. It's a great way to kind of get the momentum in, just to kind of say like, hey, I did this, because a lot of jobs right now are actually being offered on Instagram, surprisingly, and that's crazy. Well, that's good that you're healing better. Um, and yeah, I am sick, but I got some ibuprofen, but I really need to irrigate. So I might need to get some, I need to get a neti pot or something, but that'll be a tomorrow thing. So, all right. So you got volunteer work. The reason why I do enjoy volunteer work because this is something that you can actually do inside your current job. So if there is another position like that you're interested in or some different career field that you want to get into, you can actually look into volunteering inside your job for a different position. Internships, if you already got the job, you don't need to really worry about it. But if you have a child, because we all talking about the sandwich generation, internships are really great because it gives you a foot in the door, low in like low barrier to get in. Excuse me. And then on top of that, you can actually utilize your connections from being in there to move around. And I think that's a great opportunity for you and everybody else. So, oh, thank you for the thumbs up on Facebook. Thank you, Nia. And let's see. So you got campus projects, so you can try those. I'm actually using my mouse like I can scroll. Let's see, resources. So you're talking about how using career information resources. The library is amazing. If you don't have your library card, go get it. It's free. Okay. I highly recommend it because I get all my audiobooks for free. If I need to book a conference room to do like a meeting or something like that, I can do that for like under $200 for 4 hours. Like, where else can you get that? Nowhere. They have tablets, even if you want heart monitor stuff, you can even host your wedding there. It's great. Like, just get your library card. You can't go wrong. Let's say mass media career information. You could try those. Those are good. Obviously, the world, you can tell how old this book is, where it says the World Wide Web. Um, and they have a nice little thing here that I think everybody should take a look at, which is the BLS .gov. If I can see that, BLS.gov, OPUB, OOQ home.htm. Yeah, this is pretty old. Yeah, this book, I can tell you, it's like really, really old. So, but the reason why I wanted to showcase this is because this is really good. Okay, so now that you already did your research, this is where it comes in. We want to start looking into the applying for employment. One of the things is that your resume. If I can zoom in, okay, and don't judge my fingernails, judge your mother, okay? Uh, there's a summary of education. You know what a resume is, like your training, your experiences, your qualifications, um, your perspective of everything. Like we talk about the cover letter, now the interview as well. My nose is running. All right, we're gonna just roll with this. This is real life, you guys. So it is what it is. All right. You got the financial aspects. We're talking about the legal stuff. We don't want to deal with that. I feel like I'm a teacher again. Let's go on and keep moving on, because one of the things about Lisa, you and Nightbot are gonna be best friends. You talk about long-term career development, training opportunities, which we already talked about. Oh man, this sucks. It sucks doing this while I'm sick. This is the reason why you want to pre-record your stuff, because while your voice is good, you can do all the good stuff. Okay, yeah. So we flew through that. Talk about financial. I did earmark that for something later. Okay. So for those of you who don't have a resume and you're looking to build your resume, these are the 6 elements that you need to have in your resume. Let me unplug this so y'all can see it. Okay. The first thing you want to have is your personal data section. You want to have your career objectives. I do actually have a career objective, just to kind of say, no, I have a career summary. Like, these are the things that I want to do. These are things that I've been through. Or my KSAs, which is your KPIs, your key performance indicators, or your KSAs, which is your knowledge, skills, and assessments. So I've done those as well. Got to make sure you list all of your stuff. So that's really good. You got your education section, and then also your experience section, related information, and so forth. So you know how to do a resume. Nice and easy, right? We're not going to worry about cover letters because most people don't ask for those. Money management, personal finance. That's it. That's all we're talking about. Oh, here we go. Education and training questions, work, other experiences. Okay, so these are the most common questions that you get when you're doing an interview. So you need to pay very close attention to these. If you want to, write these down in the comments if you can, if somebody can, while I read these off. So the first one is, what education and training qualify you for this job? Then you want to ask, because these are great test questions. You want to practice with somebody. Why are you interested in working for this company? I've got that question a lot of times. And every time I have to say, well, you guys are doing some cool stuff, or something like that. let's see. What did you best? I mean, what did you like best about school? I don't think I get that one that too much. Um, let's see. What do you like least? I don't get those questions when I do interviews, so we're gonna skip those. Um, okay, so I do get this one. In what types of situations have you done your best work? And what they really saying is, when are you most productive? And how, what situations have you been in that make that happen? So the other one that I want to point out here, um, have you ever had to coordinate the activities of several people? It's actually showing how you collaborate with other people. Now, you need to make sure that you put that somewhere in your resume because you need to know that process. What is it? Are you leading people? Are you leading, uh, you know, not mission, but are you actually moving the company forward? What are you doing in your current position to kind of help everybody out? Let's see. Okay, describe a situation in which your determination helped you achieve a specific goal. So again, it's like what it was a situation. You're doing the star thing. I think it's what it's called situational time. Um, I forgot what the star thing, whatever. But you need to make sure that you're actually answering those particular questions. Practice with those in a room in a mirror or something like that. Uh, I never got this one. Like, what situations frustrate you? You don't have to write that one in there, Ruthie. Thank you for writing these questions down. Uh oh, this one is good, especially if you're in a leadership role and actually you want to move into a leadership role. When you're talking to a um an employer, the person that's interviewing you, you want to make sure that you ask this question. So, what methods do you consider best for motivating employees? That question right there can be asked in so many different ways, mostly because this has a way um, to improve or solidify your skill set as a team lead, as a manager. Um, some people say this is cheating. I'm not going to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, and it's up to you if you want to do it. I heard one person say on Instagram is to put down that you are a manager or a supervisor at one of these companies that had closed down because there's no way they can contact them. So if you were like a manager at like Kmart or Ames, I'm not sure how old you guys are, but Ames used to be pretty popular. So you want to look into those as well. And okay, this is the qualities for your questions, okay? Um Now these are good questions. Like, okay, this one I hate this question. What are your major weaknesses and what have you done to overcome? Let me move this way. What are your major weaknesses? What have you done to overcome your weakness? So that question is about, really just how do you overcome certain things? Like, you have shortcomings. What have you done to improve yourself? Now, I have had that question asked to me, and I was like, my follow through is bad. So if you give me a task, I can start it, but finishing it, I always have a problem. So one of the things that I do is I send that information over to somebody else, and then they will complete it and then give it back to me, and then I'll submit it that way. So that is one way of completing tasks so far. Let's see. Well, thank you, people who are in here. If you're in here, go on and give a thumbs up. If you haven't already, say hi, where you at, where you been, how y'all doing today, and what brings y'all here into this particular one today. Um, but Ruthie, I think that's all the questions I'm gonna ask for today. I think that's good. So we talk about the interview process, screening the interview. So when it comes to the interview, one of the things that you want to make sure that you do is make sure that you ask questions at the end. So I'm gonna stop streaming on here. Close this out because it's not needed. Okay. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for that um portion when it comes to like your interview, your CV, making sure you got everything together. And it's really important to have those things in place. Now, we already talked about how to find jobs, which is working with your current network, working with the people, and so forth. We already talked about a lot of people who are losing their jobs right now and they just learning how to pivot. So, I'm actually looking at this book to see if there's anything else that they have in here. They don't, it's mostly like cash flow, life situations, how to plan for life. This book is actually really good, you guys. But this is the personal finance book from the thrift store. So I can't even tell you like who's it really made for, like what grade levels. But from what I see, it could easily be, I say maybe middle school. It would be a good book for. So do apologize. I hate being sick, and do apologize, but I really want to stay consistent, and the consistency of doing this for you all and showing up is just have to battle because having the discipline to make this happen, putting on the show, making sure that I give the information to you is something that you can't take away from. So think about it. What is it in your life that you're constantly showing up for that you do day in and day out? What is it that you are constantly giving up on? Are you giving up on yourself? Are you giving up on the process that you put in place? Are you giving up on uh, the motivation? Are you giving up on your mission? Like why you started it in the first place? Are you giving up on your why? These are the things that I want you to think about is how can you become a better you? Because imagine that if you were to become, you say go get some rest. Yeah, I know it's getting worse. All right. Yeah, spent about 30 minutes. So, you know, Lisa, you're right. All right. So this one obviously is going to be a short one because I am sick like a dog, but hopefully I'll be better for next week. I might have to just go to the store right quick and get like a neti pot or something because this is killing me. All right, everybody. I'm heading out for the night. Y'all be safe. I'm out. Peace. Oh, by the way, make sure y'all stay tuned. I will be featured on Experience Podcast. It comes out on Friday. So if y'all listening to Spotify or Apple, look up Experian. I think it's called Credit Chat, and Credit Chat has a podcast. So make sure that y'all sign up for that and check that out. My episode comes out tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing y'all comments. And if y'all take a screenshot of it and tag me in it, I'll greatly appreciate that. All right, you guys. I'm out. Y'all take it easy. Bye.